you can step in when appropriate, or?
Sure.
All right. So let me know when you want to start. And
Yeah, you can just look at me the whole time.
okay. So I am Bill Vogrin. That's Bill, V as in Victor, Ogrin as in Nancy. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Southeast region of Colorado Parks and Wildlife. And with me is Mitch Martin. Mitch is the Park Manager for Cheyenne Mountain State Park. So he'll step in and address questions specific to Cheyenne Mountain State Park. What I want to tell you and the public is that we received clearance from the governor yesterday to begin opening our campgrounds across the state. We have 34 state parks that offer camping in Colorado of our 41. But we're asking the public's patience because as much as we would like to, we can't just throw our gates open and let people start camping. Right now, we're in the process of contacting all the folks who had reservations through the 18th, because we were operating under an order that our parks would be closed at least through the 18th. So we're reaching out and contacting everyone who had a reservation through the 18th and offering them the chance to have that reservation again, have that campsite. We want to be as fair as we can with this. So we're giving them the right of first refusal to see if they want to, in fact, come and camp with us. Then the general public will be able to go on our website and try and get campsites and reserve them. So people might be going to our website right now and thinking that it's down. It's not down, but we are making the adjustments necessary so that folks can reserve sites once those folks who had their reservations canceled get a chance to take those back. So that's part of the process that we're dealing with. It's more complicated than you might think, with 34 parks and hundreds of campsites at each park. So we're also working with our county partners and health officials in every jurisdiction, talking to them. They each have different rules and regulations. Some counties still don't want any outsiders coming in and using their facilities. Well, we have to respect that. So each park manager and their staffs are reaching out to county elected officials and health officials and making sure that we are all in agreement on what can happen and when. So later today we'll have a statewide news release out. There will be information posted on our social media accounts, Facebook and Twitter, with all the details as we know them. This is a really fluid situation, and we're adjusting and adapting as quickly as possible, and we'll be getting the word out. But the best thing that public can do is watch our website, watch our social media, look for openings that will be popping up on our reservation system. So when those campsites are available, they will pop up, and it's a matter of just going back and refreshing and checking over the next few days. So it will take a few days. There are some campgrounds that are open today, very few, and more will be coming online in the next few days. And some will wait probably until next week before they get agreement with their local governments and health officials to open. So that's my main message. Patience, we just plead for patience. We're thrilled this day is here, but we still need the public's patience until we can get everything open.
What are the precautions that you guys are taking to make sure that these campgrounds are still safe?
Do you want to talk about specifics that Mitch Martin, Park Manager, Cheyenne Mountain State Park, can talk about specifics of what's going on in the parks?
Yeah. So do you need my title?
Yes, please. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's Mitch Martin, last of Martin, Park Manager, Cheyenne Mountain State Park. And if you could re-ask the question, please.
And yes, you guys don't have to look at me this time, so let's switch it out there. Yeah, just what precautions are you guys taking as you start to reopen at the campgrounds, so that people know?
Yeah, currently as an agency, we're working on exactly specifics on those guidelines and what it's going to take to open up Cheyenne Mountain State Park in particular at the moment. However, you know, the restroom facility that I currently have open on the park, we're cleaning that numerous times each day, 3 to 4 times a day. Our entrance station, we have an Iron Ranger there, and that facility is used by the public, so we're cleaning that on a regular basis as well, especially during high-use periods of time. So when we're talking about opening the campground, it'll be a very similar type process, ensuring that, you know, we are cleaning the restroom facilities multiple times per day, and also encouraging people who have self-contained units to actually use those facilities within their self-contained units.
What are you telling people who are camping at the campground? How can they keep themselves and each other safe?
Yeah, well, currently, we're not open just yet. I'm still working with the county on when we will open here in El Paso County for Cheyenne Mountain State Park. But when we do open, we will be following the guidelines that were set forth by the Colorado Department of Health and Environment and also CDC. So the wearing a mask when you're out in public, especially if you're away from your campsite, and if you're going out on the trails, making sure that you have a mask with you, or if you're walking through the campground. Social distancing, ensuring that we would like to ensure that campers are with one family unit, so that, you know, we're not mixing different groups within one particular campsite, etc. So just following those guidelines. If they're feeling ill, we are encouraging them to stay home and take care of that at home. And then when they feel better, we're here and welcoming them into the park.
Are you keeping those campsites, you know, one end of the park with the other? How are you
No.
separating them?
No, you know, we're still working on the exact guidelines on that. It appears that this weekend we will be looking at about 50% occupancy this weekend, and then we will work on opening the campground fully. But my campground, the sites are spaced out well enough, you know, 20 to 30 yards between each campsite. So there is no concern about, you know, how tight those campgrounds are with other user groups.
I don't know who this is a question for, but is there some kind of reason that you guys can see why the state parks are open and not privately owned campgrounds?
Well, here in El Paso County, I know that, while speaking with the county, Bill, you have any advice on this one?
We can't address the.
Right,
private-
right.
Gotcha. I read that it was, you know, you guys can heavily monitor what's going on at the campsites. So that's something you'll be doing.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So will you be monitoring and making sure that everyone's following the public health guidelines at these campsites?
We will be on patrol. The campers will see a ranger presence while they're out here camping. And so we will definitely be encouraging those guidelines when people are out and about in our campground, yes.
You want to mention that the public buildings like this will remain closed?
Right. So when we open the campgrounds, when that date is available to me here specifically at Cheyenne Mountain State Park, the visitor center here will be closed until further notice, as well as our group facilities, our picnic areas, our playgrounds, and our shower facilities will remain closed until we get further notice.
I'm sorry, you already mentioned this, bathrooms?
The restrooms, we will have restroom facilities open to the public. So right now I have one trailhead restroom that is currently open to my day use users. When the campground opens, I anticipate having at least one campground open that will serve for our basic tent sites that in which they do not have camping or restroom facilities, or and they're not self-contained.
Is there going to be any extra
Yes, yeah, no, definitely. Like I said earlier, I mean, we're cleaning those 3 to 4 times a day right now, the current one that's open. And then when an additional restroom facility opens up, we will ensure that it's cleaned a minimum 3, 4 times a day, whatever the current guidelines are within our agency.
Earlier you were saying you have to get with the county and discuss, you know, who can come, who can go. Who decides ultimately? Is it CDPHE? Is it the county? Who decides how far away from, can I come from Denver to camp here, or can I go to, you know, somewhere in the mountains and camp?
Right. Well, that's going to be on an individual park and county-wide basis. So, or individual park and county basis. So each park is working with their individual counties, and we want to ensure that there's a good partnership there between the state and the county, and that we can meet the needs for that particular county. So at this particular park, I'm currently working with the county, making sure that they are comfortable with what we're proposing, and if need be, we can make some tweaks on our side or adjust that, et cetera, and we can come to an agreement in which we can open at this particular park. We haven't gotten into the specifics about how far away somebody can come in and camp at this park, whether it's, you know, across the state, et cetera, but we'll be working out those details, and that's one of the reasons why we're asking for the patience of the public while we do this.
So that's on a case-by-case basis.
Yes, exactly. Park by park, county by county basis, yes.
And for you, you were saying, you know, you're going through all of these previous reservations. How long until the system is fully operational for reservations do you anticipate?
Well,
By park?
again, it's park by park. Every park is tackling the issue of campers who had reservations that were canceled, and they are reaching out to each individual. So the staff of Cheyenne Mountain State Park has been calling campers who lost their reservations when they were canceled, Lake Pueblo State Park, etc. So Lake Pueblo State Park has 400 campsites. So they have a much bigger chore than a smaller park. So again, it's just going to be a day-to-day situation until we can work our way through those lists and make sure we've contacted every camper who had a reservation canceled, just out of fairness. But they're working on it. They began working on it last night. So their staffs are calling people, emailing people, reaching out, just as Mitch is reaching out to the county officials and the health officials. Their staffs are reaching out to those campers. So just however long it takes to reach all those folks and make sure they've had a chance to reclaim those campsites.
And I think that we should probably readdress that slightly, Bill.
Sure.
Here at this particular park, here at Cheyenne Mountain State Park, we haven't reached out to the campers who had reservations yet. I am still working through the process of the details associated with the county. Once I have those details worked out with the county, then my staff will begin calling those reservations here at Cheyenne Mountain State Park and giving them the opportunity to come in and camp.
What he said.
So is that the process, is to kind of work out these guidelines with the county and then go through these previous reservations?
Yeah, definitely, because it doesn't do me any good at this point in time to call a reservation without having the specific details worked out with the county. So I'm waiting on completing that, and then I'll have information that I can provide to the reservations that were canceled.
So some parks are farther ahead than others, depending on where they are.
Certainly.
Once you guys open back up, is there going to be any limit on the size of people that come within the camping group? Is it limited to only, 3 or 4 versus, a group of 20 that wants to go camping? Is there any limit?
Yeah, we're still following the guidelines of limiting to 10 per site, or 10 per group, I should say. There is a regulation that campsites are limited to 6 per campsite, However, if it's one family unit with small children, et cetera, we certainly don't split those folks up. So we are looking that if people come camping in a group, that there's only a maximum of 10 per site.
Are you guys gonna ramp up patrol of these campsites with rangers, and will there be repercussions for breaking those guidelines?
Well, we're definitely going to be on patrol. And like I said earlier, you know, we will be responding to situations that may not be following those guidelines, and we will provide guidance associated with those guidelines.
Will there be any citations or anything?
At this point in time, I mean, I can't imagine that there would be, just simply because of the contacts that we've had out on our trail system for day users. Most people are very, very compliant, and most people want to comply with the guidelines that have been set forth. So we haven't encountered that at this point in time.
Got it?